Cares, posted by Golf Cart. It's about Joe Bartolozzi. Let's check it out.
You know what the most important part of any live stream is? The chat. Every night, thousands of viewers pour into their favorite streamer's chat. Chat. Together, they decide what games get played, what videos get watched, and the streamers who keep them entertained get paid. It sounds pretty easy, right? Just give the chat what it wants. The problem is, chat never wants just one thing. There's thousands of people all asking for something different, and no matter what you do, someone's unhappy.
Dude, like, I'm scared. I don't know if it's, like, gonna happen, but, like, if, like, once chat gets, like, a lot more active, I truly am scared for having to, like, moderate that and deal with all of that, because like, honestly, especially Joe, dude, Joe Bart's chat is awful. It's terrible, bro. I would hate to be a moderator. His chat is probably the worst chat. Joe Bart, amazing streamer. His chat, insufferable. And I don't hate them, but like, I think like there are some chatters that even he's like, yo, I can't stand y'all. And I just feel so bad. And if my chat gets like that, dude, that would like, I think about retirement. I'm not gonna lie, dude.
The biggest streamers learn to follow the majority and keep the party moving, because stopping everything for one unhappy viewer is the cardinal sin of streaming. You don't leave 10,000 people hanging over a single name in the chat. But what happens when the needs of the one are a matter of life and death?
My girlfriend of 3 years took her own life in November of 2025. Losing my best friend and the person I love most in the world. I'm feeling like my life is no longer worth living, and I've been falling into a bad habit of drug addiction, leading me to on MDMA in December. I don't want to be here anymore.
This is Joe Bartolozzi, and he's one of the only streamers that stops everything when someone needs help.
If a chatter of mine is coming into my chat saying they're suicidal, I am first and foremost going to read their message.
But when you do this, when you make yourself the person people turn to at their lowest, you're also now the one who has to carry the weight of it. Because now you're surrounded by darkness.
Today I decided to end everything. Got a shotgun, can't find it in me to love myself.
Now you're giving away pieces of yourself to everyone around you.
People are genuinely asking me to fix their problems.
Dude, I think, I'm not gonna lie, it's such a weird thing when it comes to that, like, chatters coming in and like saying like things like that, and like I've always thought about like how I would handle it. I don't think I'm being 100% honest. I unfortunately don't think I would handle that correctly. Like, I'm being so for real. That seems like something that like freaks me out. I don't think I'd handle that well. I'd be like the most generic advice. I don't feel like, you know, someone would feel hurt by me. But it's such a, I don't know how to describe it. I can understand the sentiment of like stopping everything, but like how do I put this delicately? I appreciate Joe for stopping everything and like talking to chatters, but like I truly hope that like I mean, like I've heard like he's in therapy recently, but like, dude, I don't think that seems like such a lot to ask from someone. Like, you can say like, oh guys, I'm gonna play like a random really crappy game for like $2, and the next thing you know, you're talking someone off at the edge of like ending their own life. And like, it's a consistent thing. Like, dude, I feel like he's getting it. Like, he gets messages like that almost not every day, but like he probably hasn't gone a month without getting it since like he started streaming, and that like must be a lot.
I can't.
Now it feels like the whole world is on your shoulders.
Now I'm going, oh, if I stop posting, people are gonna start themselves.
That's a heavy weight to pick up, and we wanted to know why.
Who is Joe Bartolozzi, and why do you care so deeply about some of the things that you do? Which is maybe a little deep for 10:30 in the morning, but
no, it's all right.
Dude, I don't think, whenever I've seen a couple of this channel's videos, I don't think I've ever seen them like actually have the person who are talking about on the video.
Joe Bartolozzi was born on February 6th, 2002, and grew up in southern New Jersey. Joe wasn't the kid you have picked to become famous.
Wait, 2006? That can't be right. Is it February? What?
Right.
Joe Bartolozzi was born on February 6th, 2002, and grew
Okay, I'm like, I don't know why those two things like mixed to me. Sorry.
up in southern New Jersey. Joe wasn't the kid you've picked to become famous online. He was the small, quiet kid, the one getting picked last for everything.
I was kind of like the lanky kid that didn't really know how to control his body, so that's why I was picked last.
But by high school, things started turning around. He hit his growth spurt, got into lifting, and went from being the kid nobody picked to a legitimate athlete. So by 2019, Joe's a
Which is, dude, do you know what's crazy? And I know this is like terrible. This is not even like related to the video. But like to everyone who's like watched Love Island,
by 2019,
I know he's like talked about it. I don't know, it's not this picture. But like him and Sincere went to the same high school.
Joe's a track athlete at a Catholic prep school in New Jersey, working part-time at a GNC, heading towards a completely normal life. And then a Chinese tech company bought a dying lip-syncing app.
TikTok is the latest app to capture the attention of teens and young adults across the world.
A Chinese company called ByteDance bought the relatively dead app Musical.ly. They gutted it, rebranded it, and on August 2nd, 2018, TikTok officially hit the App Store.
Dude, I truly can't believe... Wait, sorry, this is completely unrelated. I'll say it in a minute. But I truly can't believe that, like, Musical.ly... I really can't believe, like, Musical.ly is what... TikTok is what, like, it's basically Musical.ly. I've basically downloaded Musical.ly twice in my lifetime. The second thing, there's an account... Wait, never mind. I'm thinking about Twitch. Never mind. That's not even a point.
TikTok.
Now, early on, TikTok was mostly just the same creators who came over from Musical.ly. So all of those cringy lip sync videos and the reputation that came with them carried straight over.
Going through your parents' divorce is more fun than going through TikTok.
For a while there,
Yeah, dude, early TikTok sucked. Early TikTok was like, it was, ugh. Like, I used to like say, like, I used to look at people whenever they're like, oh yeah, I have TikTok. Whenever, like, in the early days, I'm like, bro, what? No, now I get it. But like back then when it was just like the alt kids and like the cringy TikTok dancer or cringy dancers, it was rough.
TikTok as a whole was pretty cringy.
Yeah, I used to get made fun of.
But even with that reputation, Joe figured he'd try it anyway. He posted his first TikTok in December of 2019, and it got a few hundred likes, which is nothing crazy, but it was enough to make him post another one, and another one, and he just kept going. Within a few months, he went from pointing at text on a screen to actually talking, ranting straight to the camera about whatever stupid thing pissed him off that day.
There's no looking left or right in the urinal at all times.
This is where Joe carved out his lane. He became the loud guy in the beanie who'd yell about people who drink sparkling water or crash out over some DIY tutorial.
The coffee pot!
Dude, I completely forgot Joe Bart used to like talk in his like he first of all, he hasn't uploaded on TikTok in like almost a year. But like I forgot how like his TikToks used to be, bro. Like I ate that up every single time. I was like, yo, this Joe Bart guy's hilarious. And then finding him on Twitch. I found him on Twitch before can I say claim an OG pass, bro? I found him on Twitch long before like 2022. I think that's before he was a big streamer, dude. He had like he averaged maybe like 1,000 viewers. That's a lot. 6,767. Okay, all right, Matt. Bear. Okay. Anyways, it was 6,969 actually, since we're on the topic. But yeah, I'm gonna claim I was here first pass.
By the time COVID hit, TikTok was becoming a mainstream platform. Suddenly, TikTokers were performing at NBA halftime shows or hanging with the Kardashians. I mean, the D'Amelios were dropping a reality show on Hulu. It was the biggest app in the world, and Joe had gotten in early.
6 months
now
after
it's
you started
6'7".
posting, if I'm not
What do you
mistaken,
mean
you
it's
had
6'7"?
over 1 million followers on TikTok.
2020 TikTok, you could literally post anything, and if it got any amount of views, half the people that saw it would follow you.
So now you've got a teenage guy.
Yeah, dude. Like, dude, early TikTok, I really wish I like locked in on early TikTok, because that like now everyone's stingy with their likes on or follows on TikTok. Like, it's really like you feel like, dude, trying to get people to follow you on TikTok is like being on the side of a street and like panhandling, like spare change. That's what it is like now.
Fresh out of high school with millions of people watching his every move. But what do you think this does to a person?
It's not the same guys as like a Disney star, right? Because I was nowhere near that level. But it's just the idea of like, I was a teenager that's getting clout, and I think 99% of the time, that's bad.
And Joe was no exception. All of those views, all that attention that comes with internet fame, it went straight to his head.
I went from being a really insecure, it was like two polar opposites, right? And I had to find the medium. Like, I used to be really insecure when I was in like middle school, early high school, to a point where like I started working out, I started doing...
Oh, chat, did I ever change the title? I'm sorry, I'll change the title right now. Sorry, we're watching videos. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
This, and then it went like full flop to like narcissism. And so it was like an obsession with myself because of insecurity that then inflated my ego to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm awesome.
And you can see it in the content from that era. The captions, the attitude, the way that he carried himself.
Wait, sorry, I missed that part.
And you can see it in the content from that era. The captions, the attitude, the way that he carried himself.
So this is my proposal for any women out there that would like to participate in the holiday but don't have anybody to assist them. I'm here.
This is the version of Joe that Joe doesn't like.
That person in that facade I had to do to create that character actually became me for a short period of time, and I hated it.
But as much as Joe hates this version of himself, he also kind of owes everything to it. Because that ego is what gave him the confidence and drive to start making bigger swings in his career. And when you're building yourself from the ground up, those two things can be the difference between success and failure. You see, everyone wants to start their own thing until they realize how much work starting actually takes. Building your website, setting up payments, all the boring stuff. And most people don't.
And we're going to an ad, which I don't particularly care, so I'm gonna skip it.
It started with diversifying his audience, because unlike YouTube or Twitch, your follower count is kind of empty on TikTok. You can have 1 million followers on there and make no money, because the platform simply doesn't pay its creators anything worthwhile.
Like I was probably making like what, 10K a year. I was making less than minimum wage.
So in the summer of 2020, just before starting his freshman year of college, Joe announced his first ever Twitch stream.
I'm gonna start streaming video games on Twitch in a day or two.
He started moving viewers from TikTok to Twitch, where he'd stream games like Rocket League and Fall Guys.
Oh, I got it!
Then
Yo,
he'd take the
that's
best
kind of
moments
crazy. That's funny. It's kind of crazy that Joe Bart, like he's been in the same house since like he started. Like that's kind of crazy, no? Like I feel like every single creator you see, like once they start blowing up, every single time you see them, like if you like, you know, watch them intermittently, they're in a new location every single day. Like Ludwig does that. I think, of course, Kai does. I don't know where his last house was. Of course, like Lacey, Ron, all of them have done that.
those streams and post them to YouTube. By fall of that year, Joe was juggling multiple TikTok uploads a day, streaming on Twitch, making YouTube content, all while managing his classwork in college.
What was the schedule like in college? There's so much going on. How do you manage that?
It was a lot. Like, balancing streaming and college sucked, but it was so doable. And I hate when streamers say, oh, I really needed to drop out to pursue streaming. Like, get the out of here. I was growing and in college the entire time.
Thank you for 3 million followers.
4 million followers.
By December, Joe had cleared 5 million followers on TikTok. And just a few months after his first stream, Joe was pulling in nearly 1,000 average viewers on Twitch.
Like, I was so obsessed with performance.
Joe was constantly studying social media, trying to understand what made videos pop, what people responded to, and why certain videos failed. That confidence had turned into a full-blown obsession. But because of it, Joe was starting to not like the person he saw in the mirror.
I'm trying to map out where the ego kind of starts to disappear versus... Like, was there a low point, a moment where you're like, holy, I gotta change?
Yeah, I don't really... I don't think there was, like, an aha. Right? It wasn't like a light switch flip. It was more over the span of like a 6-month period where I was like, I'm kind of being a dickhead.
Yeah.
Dude, I think it's kind of like, dude, I feel like, and this is going to sound, this is a parasocial take. I feel like Joe seems very like down to earth. I think that I have a lot of respect for him, like as a person, right? Like still, because I feel like a lot of creators, like if they're in college and they get famous, they drop out, or like if they're like graduating high school and they get famous, they just don't go to college. That guy went to college, like, you know, got famous, went to college, balanced like a full-time like career basically, while also going to college. Like I can respect that a lot. And like you don't hear a lot of I haven't heard controversy about Joe Bart in like ever. I don't think so. Besides, that video was kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie.
Coupled with a variety of things. So I don't know if you can include this in the video. That's up to you. I tripped on mushrooms for the first time. Like, and I hate when people talk about like that being a genuine changing factor in their life, because it's like, okay, cornball, like that's what made you you know, really have that light switch. But I think it was like, it was a part of it, you know, like it removed the grooves of life that I have gotten into, and it made me reset to a point where I had to kind of look in myself. A lot of the people that I knew in philosophy classes as well were sharing ideas that, you know, I may have heard but not resonated or understood fully. It was so much like, wow, I'm gonna die one day. I should kind of treat people in a way that's like, this is our only life. And I accredit my viewers a lot because in that time, parasocial relationships built a little bit, which is bad. But at the same time, there were people coming to me for the first time going, I want to kill myself.
You were chatting to your last streamer because you're ending it all?
Whoa, 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 whoa. If there was a moment of like lock in, it was that.
What happened? One of my subs just said he's gonna kill himself. Dude, do you need help?
Because I was going, yeah, even though I'm 19, you know, there are people that actually look up to me in a way that's like, I need to be better at.
Life is the best thing that will ever happen. No matter how bad it can get, life is amazing.
Now, put yourself in that chair for a second. You're 19 years old. You started streaming to play video games, to have fun and make people laugh, and somebody you've never met just told you they're planning their own death. And out of everyone in their life, they picked you to tell.
I feel like no one cares and I want to end it all. I have a date planned, so you'll probably never see me again. I want to say you make me laugh a lot. I'm going to kill myself October 2nd. No one will remember me.
And this kept...
Dude, I can't imagine being 19 and having to deal with that, bro. Like, I truly can't. Like, and handling it in, like, an actual, like in a normal manner. Handling it in a manner in which you're, like, you know, you're actually helpful. I don't think I could do. Again, I truly don't think even today, and I'm like I'm gonna turn 22 in a couple weeks, and I still don't think I'd probably be able to handle that
happening. Joe would go live, and sooner or later, somebody would show up in a genuine crisis, typing their darkest thoughts into a Twitch chat.
Don't want to be a mood killer. I just want to say my family basically bullies me every day, and I can't get them to stop. I've been thinking about suicide a lot.
When Joe first started getting these messages from chatters, his initial response was the same as anyone with the hearts would be. He wanted to help. Both on stream and off of it, Joe took the time to talk with those viewers, getting to know them on a personal level and giving them real advice just like you would with a friend.
You guys mean the world to me. If you need help with something like that, I can try my best. So that's why I'm kind of chilling or pausing the stream for the last like 15 minutes to talk about this, because that's important.
But there's a harsh reality that all streamers have to learn eventually. Your viewers aren't your friends. They can't be.
I have had probably 20 people come to me about themselves, like on live. The first 2 times it's happened, I have tried to like help them, and then it just ended badly in terms of them getting parasocial towards me and then nonstop coming to me.
You see, the relationship between a streamer and a viewer is way more complicated than a normal friendship. When you spend hours watching someone through a screen, day after day, your brain starts doing something weird. You pick up their sense of humor, you learn their opinions, their moods, what makes them laugh and what sets them off. You come to know them the way you'd know a friend, except they have no idea you even exist.
Dude, and I feel like that's like the hardest thing, and like even like what you guys it's very, and that's why like I have like a really like it's kind of a strict policy about like adding and like playing offline. I don't play with viewers offline unless it's like a video I'm recording offline, because I feel like online there is a much young, like streaming and like YouTube has like a much younger demographic that I don't feel like they fully understand the concept of like parasocialness, and like online people aren't your like, not online people aren't your friends, but like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I also made like a video about internet safety on my TikTok Gap channel or account, where I was talking about how like my generation, we grew up on internet safety, so we knew like not to get too comfortable with like people who were online, because you don't know who's like on the internet. You can hear people talk about how like, oh yeah, like I'm a kid just like you, and they're like a 40-year-old man, right? So like I learned that, so like I understand like the concept of like, yeah, like if I can watch a streamer 24/7, 7 days, like 24/7, but like that person is like not my friends. I will go out, like I could go up to that streamer in public and that streamer will not know who I am. But I feel like a lot of the younger generation kind of had that lapse in internet safety, to a point where I feel like they now struggle with parasocial. Really, they feel like if I read, like, right, if I were to read someone's message, there's a chance that someone could read that, like, take me reading their message as, oh, we're having a conversation. And if I, like, talk to someone else, they're like, oh, why aren't you talking to me? Or, like, things like that. And I feel like it's like if you, and granted, I have my regulars, of course, but, like, I don't feel like they're, how do I say this without sounding, like, not appreciative? I don't feel like, you know, like, they'll have breaks, right? But I feel like if, like, I had a regular every single stream 24/7 the entire time, and, like, I just decide, like, oh, like, I don't know how to respond to their comment, and, like, they build that personal relationship, it's gonna be tough. It truly is. But yeah, I feel like it's a hard thing to learn whenever you start content creation and streaming. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a rough one. It's probably the hardest thing to master if you are talking about content creation and streaming.
This is what's called a parasocial relationship, and it can be a dangerous thing.
Now a scary home invasion as 3 masked intruders with guns grab a popular influencer by the hair demanding money.
3 guys came into my room, turned all the lights.
I was gonna say, is that Amaranth? And I feel like it's bad because I knew from her red hair. Like, sorry, I know this is a serious conversation, but, like, I was like, oh, that's Amaranth because, like, of her hair.
And then they had the gun pointed at me.
Is it? I think so.
While most parasocial relationships don't reach this level, there's always a possibility that it can.
3 popular Twitch streamers face a terrifying encounter while live streaming along the Santa Monica Pier.
Oh yeah, that was the Synodon with Valkyrie.
If the streamer leans too far one way, they might come across as uninterested or cold, but lean too far the other, and viewers can mistake an occasional reply.
Sorry, I'm going back to what I was saying about earlier. That's another thing. I feel like, okay, right? Whenever you, and this is anyone who, like, does content creation and, like, does streaming, you are told your biggest, like, of course, like, talking, being entertaining, but, like, one of the biggest things in terms of building community is talking to your chatters, interacting with your chatters, like, you know, like, responding to your chatters, right? And, like, yes, I get that, but I feel like, especially, like, if you, how do I put this? I understand the importance of doing that, but sometimes some people take that as you talking to them. That's how they build parasocial relationships. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry about that.
Please stop following me. It's getting weird. It's getting strange. I don't know you, okay? So please leave me alone.
That's where things can take a turn for the worst, because now that attention can turn into expectation. And when the expectation of a response to the next chat isn't met, it can feel less like being ignored by a streamer and more like a betrayal by someone that they thought they knew.
It's a weird parasocial
Amaranth.
that forms, and you're not even aware that this person is forming that typically until they're, like, about to show up, or they do show up.
The gap is hard to manage, which is why most streamers keep a barrier up around the heavy personal stuff.
My sis is dead.
Right, let's try and keep it positive.
Please don't talk about side of my chat, please. This is something I just don't like to hear or talk about, you know?
And you can't really blame them. At the end of the day, streamers are supposed to entertain.
At some point, there has to be a boundary between caring about the people watching and becoming responsible for everything that they bring into the chat.
They become too attached to you, where they see you as an actual friend that they have. So I feel like that is kind of a boundary that you have to set as a streamer. But it's hard to gauge where that line is.
Joe had every reason to draw that same boundary. He'd answered the heavy messages, taken conversations off stream, and learned what could happen when things become too parasocial.
The first 2 times I helped somebody with, like, issues, they just kept messaging me, and then they, like, got upset when I stopped messaging them. So it's more so of that issue.
But mental health meant too much to him. Ignoring somebody who might not make it through the night was never a choice he could live with. After those early mistakes, Joe implemented 2 important factors that would eliminate those odd parasocial dynamics from coming into the picture. For starters, he removed any one-on-one interaction. All conversations with chatters were strictly held on stream from the Twitch chat.
I've prepared to go, tired of waiting for things to improve. You are my escape. Thank you, dude. If you're saying you're gonna kill yourself, don't. I know this was 10 minutes ago. I hope you're still here.
And second, but most importantly, he made the pivot from trying to be the help himself and became the middleman.
Fine if you're depressed and you want to come to me for advice, but when it comes to the gravity of seeking an expert is better than seeking Joe Bartolozzi, a Twitch streamer, TikToker. You know what I mean?
For those who came into the chat looking for help, Joe was there to give them a few encouraging words and push them in the right direction.
I've had not so good thoughts, if you know what I mean, and listening to your advice and others has helped me even during those hard times. If you ever have thoughts, reach out to somebody, genuinely. Go to a therapist, psychiatrist, talk to somebody that can help you. It's not the answer.
Like, there's only so much I'm able to do as a creator especially seeing that I don't know the person. So that's.
Did you ever think, like, I'm not, okay, how do I say this without sounding insensitive? Do you ever think he kind of just, like, gets exhausted by it all? Like, I'm not saying annoyed is probably the right, or annoyed isn't the right word, but, like, I feel like at a certain point, if, like, a decent amount of your chat, almost every single time you go live, is someone saying, hey, I think I'm gonna end it. Thanks for, you know, all the laughs and stuff like that, and you have to, like, talk that person off the ledge. I feel like I wouldn't be annoyed, but I'd like be like, okay, like what more can I do, right? And like the only, like, what if it's like a one-off, right? Because I've had a one-off, like someone who like I have never, like I've had people, it was not a weird interaction, but it was someone who like wasn't in chat, like this is my first time talking to them. They say, hey, I'm gonna end it all, and like I first of all did not know what to say. What was I saying? Chat, what was I saying? Someone remind me what I was saying beforehand. Oh, but yeah, like I don't know what that person's doing today. Like that person, I don't think has ever came back into the chat. That was their first and only message, and then they left. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't know how, like, you know, they are now. I hope they're okay, but like I don't know. And I feel like that has to suck. Like, you know, you can say all this stuff, but like, let's say that person like doesn't come back, but like they're still here, they don't come back. That's weighing on you. That weighs. You're like, oh shoot, like did that person go through with it? And I just can't imagine that.
That's why I try to do the charity streams for like, you know, 988 or AFSP or Trevor Project.
We're doing reactions today, and it's a charity stream. We raised $2,700, which was matched 3x by the Melinda Bill Gates Foundation. So dub in the chat for that. Goes to a good cause, saving lives.
And for a while, this worked pretty well. While it seems kind of small, Joe's brief but encouraging words were actually making a difference in people's lives.
I've been subbed for a year now, and I want to say thank you for helping me through this past year with having to deal with my grandpa's suicide and my own personal problems. You're definitely my favorite top streamer, and I hope you never stop.
But by the time Joe graduated college, things had started to change. His viewer count climbed to some of the highest in all of streaming, and managing the expectation of that many chatters is a totally different beast.
Like right now, I average 10K. Chat's horrible.
Yeah?
Like, yeah. I gotta lock in. I want to get into the videos. I'm starting to get stressed the f out. I'm starting to get stressed the f out. I could tell this was gonna happen at the start of stream when I got like 9 messages just unloaded onto me.
With this many viewers watching, Joe found himself caught between two groups that wanted completely different things from him. Because on one hand, some viewers felt that he wasn't doing enough to help.
I guess even my favorite streamer does.
And dude, that's another thing, right? It's such a weird, like, there's no winning when it comes to like Twitch chat, right? Because on one hand, you, like, being a smaller streamer, you really have to like focus on not having parasocial relationships, because like that is so easy. Like I could be like the only person in chat, could be like me and them could be having going back and forth, and I don't know what they're thinking in their mind, right? But then if I have a big chat, right? If I have a big chat, then they're like, I won't be able to interact with certain people, and then people won't feel like, oh, like I don't care. And like I do, I appreciate every single person who like supports me. I truly am. But like it's a very difficult medium to like, you know, like once someone feels like they're not the center of attention, things can they can feel a little betrayed. That's all I'll say.
Doesn't care about me. Lame comment. I have 5,000 people in my stream that are spamming right now. I'm also playing a video game, and then I don't respond to you, and you pull this guilt trip here.
But on the other hand, there was a totally different group of viewers that were tired of the stream constantly stopping.
Jesus, dude, I like watching your streams, but when you go on rants like this, that's all you do all the time. That's annoying. Play the game. Do me a favor and never watch me again. Do me a favor and go f*** yourself.
No matter what Joe did, someone felt ignored, and the messages were starting to get more demanding. Early on, people would briefly mention that they were struggling, and Joe would offer a few words of encouragement. Now, they wanted more.
Like every stream, it's been getting more and more and more and more like involved, where people are genuinely asking me to fix their problems. I can't. I'm sorry.
But the hardest part was figuring out who genuinely needed help and who was only looking for attention.
How do you balance keeping everybody happy and then also sorting through people who are just doing it for attention?
I mean, that's the struggle. Because I'm a suicide prevention advocate, that is an avenue that a lot of people use to manipulate their way into being noticed or speaking to me on stream. And so
I'm actually kind of glad that conversation was about, because I didn't want to bring it up myself, because I feel like that's like a jerk thing to say, like, oh dude, like there are probably people who like fake wanting to, you know, not be here anymore because they want attention from their favorite streamer. But like, I think about that a lot too. Like, I feel like some people may do it for attention. Some people may not, maybe not attention, but they may do it for like a clip. They may do it for like a little bit of attention. And like, I truly don't know how to deal with that one either.
So yeah, if there's 10 chats saying they're suicidal, 6 of them are fake. Because I do so much mental health advocacy, the amount of people that come into my chat and fake being suicidal is absurd. I had one chatter that came in and they say, hey, I'm the mother of so-and-so. He took his own life. I just wanted to let you know you were his favorite streamer. I'm sorry that he took his life.
Yeah, I feel like I remember
really
that
know
one.
What to say. I'm sorry. I hope you're all right. I'm sorry for the loss of your son. Ugh. Come to find out, they come back a month later and they're like, my brother typed that, banned his, blocked him. You're the chatter? I knew that, bro. I'm banning you, man. That's fucking weird as shit.
This leaves Joe stuck making a decision that's difficult to get right.
If I'm being honest, I think a large portion of people that come into my chat and say stuff that's idle are lying. But I have to treat them all as if they're real, because then I could, on an off chance, not take somebody seriously that is serious. And that's the worst thing you could do.
Ignoring the wrong message could have serious consequences, but responding to every message was impossible, and the pressure of trying was beginning to wear him down.
I feel bad, and I've talked about this. It's like, I wish I could help, but like sometimes I can't, you know? Like there's only so much I'm able to do as a creator, especially seeing that I don't know the person.
But there's one message that weighs on Joe the most. It's one that he's heard over and over again, that for some viewers, he's the only reason that they're still alive.
You were there when my dad passed. You saved me from ending my own life more than anyone should. I've realized so much because of you. I can't thank you enough. You unknowingly have helped me with a lot. My life has gotten a lot better since watching you from your philosophy stuff. Never had a favorite streamer until I watched your streams, and it kind of saved my life, no pressure. I wanted to myself, you saved my life. I did not save your life. You saved your own life. Please get the help you need, though. If I'm the only reason that you stopped, you know, wanting to kill yourself in that moment, you need a lot of help outside of just watching my content.
That I feel like is probably the only, like, the best reaction to that kind of response. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that. I don't feel like it's beneficial for the conversation. But yeah, I truly don't know how people react, or not respond, but like can deal with having someone be like, hey, you're the only reason why I'm able to do it. Because like, how do you? Because like, one thing's about like, you have to take breaks, especially like on everything you do, even if it's like even if it's your job, you still have to take breaks, you have to take PTO, you still have to take a vacation. So like, what do you want him to do if you're like, oh yeah, like I only live to watch your streams? And it's like, dang bro, like what if I just need like a break? What if something happens to me? Then like, what if there's like, you hear that they're, and it's like, it's a bit of a complex, of course, like, oh, like what if I don't stream, everyone's gonna have like this like crazy reaction, but like,
when
you never really know.
How big of a toll does that take on you? Because like, I don't know, I'm watching through some of their clips, talking to people like this, a lot of the chat is asking, who is checking on Joe?
I mean, I'm starting therapy soon. I'm not saying it's bad to have my videos as like something to fall back on to make you feel happier, versus like, I'm suicidal, your videos are the only thing that's keeping me alive.
Take a second and think about what that actually means for the person receiving it. Somebody just told you that your uploads are load-bearing for their existence.
Don't tell me that. Like, I'm glad I'm able to help, man, but like, get help. Like, get help, please.
So what happens if you take a break? What happens if you burn out and quit? On some level, Joe now feels like he has to keep posting, because somewhere out there, somebody's hanging on by his streaming schedule.
There will be people that will like come to my chat and they're like, hey, you prevented me from killing myself because I saw one of your videos and it made me laugh. On surface level, that's great. If you're me, now I'm going, oh, if I stop posting, people are gonna start killing themselves.
And beyond the pressure, there's the sheer exposure to darkness. Joe's DMs and chat are a constant stream of people's lowest moments. And when you're surrounded by that much pain for that long, it eventually starts to get in.
That's like the one thing, is the emotional drain, I guess. Like I put a lot out.
After every stream, Joe sits there for an hour, just coming back down from what the job took out of him.
Like, when I'm done stream, I get off. I literally sit there in, like, silence for maybe an hour. I need, like, time to decompress, just because that is a lot at times. It takes a toll, and I've gotten used to it, but it kind of builds. Like, I'll be good for a month, and then there'll be a week where I'm just, like, not there emotionally, I guess. And that's, like, a problem.
So the obvious question is, why keep doing it? Every other streamer proved you can just let the messages scroll and the career survives. Joe could put up the full wall tomorrow and nobody could really blame him.
I'm not sitting here acting like I'm some role model, but if people are going through stuff and I recognize that they're watching my content to help them, that I want them to have some sort of guidance of redirection to be better themselves and also better their own mental health in a way that's good for them.
Joe did the math and decided helping people is worth what it costs him.
I enjoy making people happy more than the other aspects of the job. And that's what enables me to deal with this too. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, push through the negative because you make money. I think I push through the negative because I can affect people more positively here than any other job that I could possibly be doing.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Like even I'm thinking about it now, like even like, because shocker, I'm a nurse, and like I've been a nurse at least on my unit for like a little over a year, and I've taken care of like maybe 200 patients in my lifetime. If we're talking like it's probably like 200-300. I'd say about 300 patients, and like that's just in a year. Like, I guess having that like platform, you could help like 100. Like, that's how do I put this? In what it takes me a year to help people, he could help that many people in like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe a whole stream. But like that, like, you have so much more scale. I'm not saying like you shouldn't be like in healthcare, you should be a nurse. Like, obviously, like, you should help people in whatever capacity interests you, helps you, like, it's good for you. But like, it is kind of crazy like if you think about it in the grand scheme of everything.
But once he saw what his platform could do for people at their lowest, walking away from that stopped being an option he could live with.
Thank you. My mom was diagnosed with cancer about 9 months ago.
Sorry to hear that.
We would watch your videos and streams. We loved your philosophy streams. She also majored in philosophy.
Really?
A week ago, I found out she has
two more days to live. One of the final things we did was watch one of your YouTube videos. Your videos remind me of good memories. She passed away yesterday and you helped me cope. Just wanted to say thank you so much. You helped more than you'll ever know. Oh my God. Yo, that's just gonna make me cry. It's a weird job, dude. It's a weird job in social media. There's a lot of shit, but it's one of the most like rewarding experiences. Just to be able to be someone to help other people is something that I want to do. Yeah, the money's good. Yeah, it's fun to play video games and shit. But like, on a deeper level, dude, being able to make people's days is like genuinely what I want to do. And I'm glad that I can.
Holy. Yeah, dude. I just I don't think I could imagine that weight. And like in like the grand scheme of things, like he's young, like what, 2003, 23, 24 now? 24? 23. 23. And that's kind of crazy to think about. Like, you are like barely a quarter done with your life on average, and like people, like, you have thousands of people coming to you saying like either I need you to help me in this moment of crisis, or like I would really appreciate you for helping me in this moment of crisis, whether you knew it or not. And like I don't know, man. Like like I'm already on like weekly therapy schedule. Like I'm on like a weekly therapy. Like I'd have to go every day. Like I'd have to have like a therapist on retainer post stream, just like a 1 hour therapy session. Cause like, dude, That's a lot.